It's Food Feels Friday, guys. It's been the month of love and it's been the week of love. So we've had a lot of chocolate on the menu this week, as it should be. And any week that ends with a little bit of chocolate is going to be a little bit better. So it's Friday and it's all about the soul foods. Hopefully you caught up with me yesterday. I was chatting through really the role of soul foods and goal foods and what it's all about. And part of living a sustainable life and being healthy is still having the things that you enjoy. And sometimes you can just make them a little bit healthier. And that's what I'm doing today with some chocolate mousse. So lovely, quick, sort of fakey chocolate mousse that goes into the blender. We're going to whip something up and I'm going to show you how. So pop into the comments if you're here, say how's it as we go along. Auntie Pat is here. Good morning to you, Auntie Pat. I'm going to bring the ingredients up quickly so we can run you through them. You can see what all goes into it. Essentially, it's a avocado-based chocolate mousse. So avo gets into the blender and makes a nice creamy end product that's beautiful. So you're getting a plant into it, which is great, a healthy fat from that. So that's super. Very low in terms of added sugar, so you're saving a little bit there as well. So we're all good. We're going to have some avocado. We're going to have some cocoa powder, a little bit of vanilla essence. So there's a quarter cup of that cocoa powder. We're going to have half a teaspoon of vanilla essence, 5 blocks of this 85% dark chocolate, a little pinch of some sugar, 3 to 4 tablespoons of any milk that you like. I'm using almond milk, but you can use any milk that you want. The amount that we add there is just going to depend on, once it's in the blender, what it sort of looks like. Our 2 avos, and a quarter cup of any sweetener, maple syrup, honey, coconut sugar. You could use something like liquid stevia if you wanted to, and even save a little bit more in terms of the calories. All right. Renata says she can't wait. Good morning. Paula Santos, Nancy Close, good morning. Leslie Downs, how are you? Vilma, how's it going? Kim's here. Nancy, I believe you have to eat it all in one day, otherwise the avo goes sour. Is that true? It won't go sour. I mean, it depends what's all kind of in there. There is a little bit of salt and a little bit of sugar that's going to help preserve it. But you'll be all right to get about 2 days out of this. So I wouldn't keep it longer than that. 2 days is fine. Honey instead of syrup, yes, Nancy, you can. Renal, good morning. This serves 4, Kim. So this is 4. Perfect little dinner date. All right. So what we've got, 2 avos. I'm just going to get the pip out of them. Oh, it didn't come out as easy as normally does. There we go. And that's going to go into the blender jug. Okay. Lovely ripe avos. You don't want unripe avos. Just won't be as creamy. All right. So make sure you've got some nice ripe ones. If you've got avos that are just kind of a little bit more soft than you want, it's a good time to use them. You can stick them into this. All right. So 2 avos are going in there. Okay. 1 more. So essentially it's half an avo per person, which would be 2 of your fat portions. So if you're on the 1-on-1 and using the units, kind of know what you're looking at, and all the little numbers that are appearing on your guys' recipes now, that's what it's about. Okay. But also, when you're having a little bit of soul food, you're going to make some wise choices, but those kinds of things might go out the window slightly because your goals are different. All right, 2 avos in there, quarter cup of cocoa powder. All right, half a teaspoon of vanilla essence. And then I've just melted my dark chocolate with any sweetener, the sweetener that you've used. So that's just in there. Okay, I'm going to add the milk to here just to bring it together before it goes into there. Just so I get it all out of the pot. I don't want to lose any of that goodness. So it's a nice high cocoa dark chocolate, which means sugar is very low, flavor is very high, nice richness. Oh, that just on its own actually smells pretty good. I could stop right there and maybe just run the spoon through that, and I think we'd be good. But we won't be that naughty today. Okay, so that all goes into there. Get it all in. All right, and the last of the milk. I've got a feeling I might need a little bit of more milk, but we'll only know once it goes. And that's that. Pinch of salt. Remember, salt just does take away some of the bitterness so that you're going to get from the cocoa powder. So that pinch of salt, that makes it taste a little bit sweeter than it actually is, which is perfect. All right. So we're going on to the blender. And just a tablespoon of milk. So you want it to be nice and thick and creamy, but if it's just not coming together nicely, just add a little bit of extra milk. So we just want a tablespoon in there. Okay. Looks super. Okay. 5 minutes. That's a lovely little dessert for your next dinner party. Stir it together. You can see in there. As it comes out, it's silky, smooth, rich, fantastic. It's a bit of a big bowl. And that goes into our just dish it up into 4 servings. And the important part, look at that, is how it tastes. Chocolate mousse for breakfast. Wow, that's good. I'm quite partial to a little tub of chocolate mousse. Don't have them very often because they're quite easy to overindulge. Super simple, nice and healthy. There's a little bit of like the earthiness, but there's a little bit of salt that cancels out any of the bitterness. Chocolatey, it's nice and rich, and quite a small portion like that's going to keep you satisfied and tick a box. So great way to impress your guests. And stick it into the fridge just so it gets nice and cool. Whip it out at the end of the meal, and you're absolutely golden. It was very yummy, guys. Quite like that. Haven't had chocolate for breakfast in a while. So I'm going to catch up on the last few comments here just before we head out to our 8 o'clock workout. Nancy, whenever you do that with a knife, you nearly cut your hand. Actually cut yourself a few times. Oops. Just opt for the spoon then when you're getting the pip out of the avo, Nancy. Just watching this, you can almost smell the sweetness. What's quite nice is it's rich. So one of the things about foods that you use when you have like a soul food or something, you want it to typically, you really feel like something. And something that's rich means you can keep your portions a little bit smaller, while you often win with like snacking on a little bit of dark chocolates, because it ticks so many boxes and gets the tongue going, feels rich, really feels like it's what you need, and you can have something smaller. So that richness really does help, and you can keep the portion slightly smaller. Ava, good morning. Kim says, yo, Lizelle looks delicious. It tastes delicious. Definitely going to try this one. Says Nancy. Leslie, it is rich and delicious. Dip some strawberries in there too. Actually, I did. There's some raspberries that are supposed to go on top. They're just in the fridge. So for my Instagram worthy pick, I'm going to stick a few raspberries on there, and that'll make the perfect end product. Renel's going to try it this weekend. Lovely. Mandy says it looks awesome. Beautiful. Guys, Kim, can you freeze it? Good question, Kim. I reckon you can. It's essentially just, I don't know what it'll be like when it defrosts, but it should be fine. Give it a crack. Try. You can also, if you've got a little bit of leftover, stick it into a nice smoothie on day 2. Just add a bit more liquid and get some stuff in there, and you'll be good. You can make a nice little chocolate avo smoothie, bit of coffee in there, bit of yogurt, and you'll be magic. Guys, super. Hopefully that's one you're going to try. Everyone loves a little bit of chocolate, so why not? Get ready for our 8 o'clock workout. If you haven't yet, maybe you've done one of our earlier ones, that's great. And we've got a big weekend ahead, as always, guys. Make sure you're staying on track. Keep logging those dots, getting your 5 out of 7 every week. Today is your last day that you might need. Otherwise, you can catch up on the weekend and enter the prizes that are going. Keep accountable, keep it going, and even things like this have a space on it for you guys. Have a super day, everybody. We'll see you all tomorrow morning. Cheers.